Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, transliteration, our Father.
Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, I'm calling out to you, how are we crying? Turn off from seeing we living in anguish, and the gates thereof the language. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, I'm calling out to you, how are we crying? Turn off from seeing we living in anguish, and the gates thereof the language.
Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth, just the same. YHWH, 4 letters found in Dead Sea Scroll caves. Romans 10:13, whoever so calls on that name, the same shall be saved. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we forgive these debtors. Stultifying us creditors, Esau playing editor, defacing artifacts, showing true Jews had melanin. Finna call Chris Hansen in to catch these spiritual predators who pervert depictions of the Son of Man's skin. But let the dust settle in and wait for Yahweh Shai to crack that dome as the sweetest metronome. To hear that so far from the sky, praying for forgiveness of sin. Ain't no retry. I'm praying that that gulf in the end isn't so far between you and I. I'm praying for 12 tribes to combine under the commandments of the Most High as I face the east and say his prayer every sunrise.
Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, I'm calling out to you, how are we crying? Turn off from seeing we living in anguish, and the gates thereof the language. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, I'm calling out to you, how are we crying? Turn off from seeing we living in anguish, and the gates thereof the language.
Now it's Shabbat Shemayim. My heart is crying. Israel is dying in sin. I am wondering, when will this horrific rule of Edomites will end? Time's prophecy. A T-girl waves a cock at me. I rebuke them for hate speech. They wanna lock up me, but there ain't no way they stopping me from dropping these bombs of truth. Chosen people worshiping Zeus, calling him Jesus. He's really Caesar. Bullshit. I prophesied to Israel. 2/3 can't hear. They are bowers, trappers, and pimps of the year. Fly guys, Benjamin B on that, I. Selassie, Molly got dreads high. Not from Kwam Yasha'Allah. Birds fly up and try to holler. Arm, leg, arm, con. That spells Allah, the power. What will you do in that final hour when the sky is cracked by that woolly hair, black Yahweh Shai? Gun in my face, death in my eye. Life or death, live or die. Murdered by my own con. Life or death, live or die. Murdered by my own con.
Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, I'm calling out to you, how are we crying? Turn off from seeing we living in anguish, and the gates thereof the language. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, I'm calling out to you, how are we crying? Turn off from seeing we living in anguish, and the gates thereof the language.
It's massive killing, boom, boom. There ain't no Thanksgiving. Yahweh willing, you will see why your words can't hurt me. You jive turkey, you've been chilling with a Edomite woman. Ate a piece of a pie, caught syphilis and genital herpes. You hate sisters, you got screwed, little mister. Not trying to dish ya, this should really uplift ya with the ruah. If you knew what I just said, you would want to step to it. You refuse to, you a sucker. Like a hooker, you just blew it. Lollipop, and I knew it. T-Doc recordings, this crew is spiritual lyrics. Debtors wanna sue us. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, our Father which art in heaven.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
If we could get someone to read something from the Torah, since it is a Shabbat, we'll read something from the Torah as usual. Torah reading is sort of the Shabbat.
Come on, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Can I be
Shalom.
heard?
Shabbat Shalom.
Come on. Let's get the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4. Come on. Now therefore hearken, O Yasharallah, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you, for to do them that ye may live, and go and possess the land which the Supreme Adonai, Yahuwah of your fathers, giveth you. Shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of Yahuwah, your Supreme Adonai, which I command you. Your eyes have seen what the Supreme Adonai did because of Baal Peor. For all the men that followed Baal Peor, the Supreme Adonai, Yahuwah, hath destroyed them from among you. But ye that did cleave unto Yahuwah, your Supreme Adonai, are alive, every one of you to this day. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahuwah, my Supreme Adonai, commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whether ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great, who hath Yahuwah so nigh unto them, as the Supreme Adonai, Yahuwah, is in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is there so great, that hath statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law, which I set before you this day? Only take heed to thyself, and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget these things which thine eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life, but teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons, especially the day that thou stoodest before Yahuwah, thy Supreme Adonai, in Horeb, when Yahuwah said unto me, gather me the people together, and I will make them hear my words, that they may learn to fear me all the days that they shall live upon the earth, and that they may teach their children. And he came near and stood unto the mountain, and the mountain burned with fire unto the midst of Shemayim, with darkness, clouds, and thick darkness. And the Supreme Adonai spake unto you out of the midst of the fire. Ye heard the voice out of the words, but saw no similitude, only ye heard a voice. And he declared unto you his covenant, which he commanded you to perform, even 10 commandments, and he wrote them upon 2 tables of stone. And the Supreme Adonai commanded me at that time to teach you the statutes and judgments, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go over to possess it. Take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves, for ye saw no manner of similitude on the day that the Supreme Adonai spake unto you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire. Lest ye corrupt yourselves, and make you a graven image, the similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female, the likeness of any beast that is on the earth, the likeness of any winged fowl that flieth in the air, the likeness of anything that creepeth on the ground, the likeness of any fish that is in the waters beneath the earth. And lest thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven, Shemayim, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the host of heaven, shouldest be driven to worship them and serve them, which the Supreme Adonai Yahuwah had divided unto all nations under the whole heaven.
But the supreme Adonai hath taken you and brought you forth out of the iron furnace, even out of Egypt, to be unto him a people of inheritance, as ye are this day. Furthermore, the supreme Adonai was angry with me for your sakes, and sware that I should not go over Jordan, and I should not go unto that good land, which Yahuwah thy supreme Adonai giveth thee for an inheritance. But I must die in this land, I must not go over Jordan. But ye shall go over and possess that good land. Take heed unto yourselves, lest ye forget the covenant of Yahuwah your supreme Adonai, which he made with you, and make you a graven image or the likeness of anything which Yahuwah thy supreme Adonai hath forbidden thee. For Yahuwah thy supreme Adonai is a consuming fire, even a jealous Adonai. When thou shalt beget children and children's children, and ye shall have remain long in the land, and shall corrupt yourselves, and make a graven image or the likeness of anything, and shall do evil in the sight of Yahuwah thy supreme Adonai, to provoke him to anger, I call Shemayim and Eretz to witness against you this day, that ye shall soon utterly perish from off the land whereunto ye go over Jordan to possess it. Ye shall not prolong your days upon it, but shall utterly be destroyed. And the supreme Adonai shall scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in number among the heathen, whither Yahuwah thy supreme Adonai shall lead you. And there ye shall serve gods, the work of men's hands, wood and stone, which neither see, nor hear, nor eat, nor smell. But if from thence thou shalt seek Yahuwah thy supreme Adonai, thou shalt find him, if thou seek him with all thy heart and with all thy soul. When thou art in tribulation, and all these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days, if thou turn to Yahuwah thy supreme Adonai, and shalt be obedient unto his voice, for Yahuwah thy supreme Adonai is a merciful Adonai. He will not forsake thee, neither destroy thee, nor forget the covenant of thy fathers, which he sware unto them. For ask now the days that are past, which were before thee, since the day that Yahuwah created man upon the earth, and ask from the one side of heaven unto the other, whether there hath been any such thing as this great thing is, or hath been heard like it. Did ever people hear the voice of Yahuwah speaking out of the midst of the fire, as thou hast heard and live? Or hath Yahuwah essayed to go and take him a nation from the midst of another nation, by temptations, by signs, and by wonders, and by war, and by a mighty hand, and by a stretched out arm, and by great terrors, according to all that Yahuwah, your supreme Adonai, did for you in Egypt before your eyes? Unto thee it was showed, that thou mightest know that Yahuwah, thy supreme Halahan, is the supreme Adonai. Come on. There is none else beside him. Out of heaven he made thee to hear his voice, that he might instruct thee, and upon earth he showed thee his great fire, and thou heardest his words out of the midst of the fire.
So welcome to another Bible study. I want to remind everyone that the seats in Memphis are really filling up. If you haven't paid, I encourage you to go ahead and pay. Some of you said that you would have actually paid already, but it's neither here nor there. I encourage you to go ahead and pay if you really intend on, coming to this event. I suspect that the priest, once that ad starts running on the 11th, which is actually next week, ad should be in the paper next week. But there are people, looks like, coming from all over this time. So I encourage you to go ahead and get your payments in now. Red Pill Lady, try to reach out to you, you might want to go ahead and get your payment in. If you really intend on coming, and anyone else that intends on coming, go ahead and get your payments in now. The question of tonight's Bible study is that does Yahuwah, the Christians call God, really love this world? Does Yahuwah, the Christian call God, really love this world? Think about that before you answer it. What do you think, Fernando? Does the Most High Yahuwah, that they call God, really love? Does he really so love this world? What are your thoughts?
Shabbat shalom. My thoughts to that question is, I think because of the fact that, um, Christ, Yahushua is coming back, and of all of the really um, negative ways that the world is shown in the Bible, I feel like, he doesn't love this world that we're living in at this moment. There's a reason for Christ, Yahushua, to come back. There's a reason why he's going to come back, and it's pretty much to set this world that we're living in straight. And that's why I believe he does not love this world.
Huh. What's up, Bean? Shalom. What are your take on this, Bean? Think the Most High Yahuwah, that they call God, love this world? What are your thoughts?
Shabbat Shalom. All is well. I would have to say I guess it depends on which world we're referring to. You have taught, we've seen that in referring to the world in the scriptures, there are, different types of worlds. We can talk about a people, we can talk about a governmental system. As far as a people, his chosen people in that world, yes, but as far as like secular wisdom, modern day, socially accepted type of practices and ideologies, and especially the governmental system, which is supposed to be there for the benefit of people, but we know that that's not the case. I would have to say no.
What about it, Benaiah? You think the Most High so loved this world?
I would say he does, but he doesn't hesitate to also punish the wicked inside of this world, including his own children, his chosen people. He didn't hesitate to flood the earth, the first and only time he did that completely, because the men inside of the earth was so wicked. And he's not going to hesitate when the time does come, when he, says it is time to send Yahushua HaMashiach to come, for to bring the reapers down. So I would say he does have mercy and love, for those in the world that are his chosen people and that are, have repented truly. But he also doesn't hesitate to bring down righteous indignation.
Where's the brother Kadar tonight? Anyways, what about John 3:16 then? Someone get that. Let's get John 3:16. What about it, Eliana? Does God love this world? Does the Most High love this world? Jadi in the background, huh? All right. Someone get John 3:16. Yakanan 3:16.
Got you. Book of John, Yakanan, chapter 3, verse 16.
Fatali, looks like your device is struggling to connect, good brother.
It says, "For you so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life."
Shalom. Shabbat shalom, Nefertali. I'll be still having connection problems here. So what about that right there, Fernanda? It says, "For Yahuwah so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever." Does that mean Nicholas Carefoot? Cody? Eminem? That whosoever, read that again, huh? What about that, Fernando? That whosoever believed in him shall not perish but have everlasting life.
Come on. Book of Yakanan, chapter 3, verse 16. "For Yahuwah so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life."
So the scriptures is saying that Yahuwah loved the world so much that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believed in him will never perish, but they're going to live forever. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. Now, I have to ask a question. Who were the commandments given to, Benaiah? Who were the commandments given to?
Nation of Israel.
How can we prove that? Because you said so? Where's Jeremiah Banks?
Oh, but
I sent this to shout out to Yashabin for the doing. I sent this to a few people. Kadar, Jeremiah Banks. Let's go to Psalms 147, 19 and 20. Let's see who the commandments was given to. Let's see who's the only nation that these commandments was given to according to the Bible, according to the word of the Most High.
Book of Psalms, chapter 147. What verse?
19 and 20.
Book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 19 and 20. He sheweth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Hold on, stop. So the Bible is saying the Most High showed his word, which is the entire Bible, unto Jacob. Jacob is a progenitor of the nation of Israel. Jacob had 12 sons. They became known as the 12 tribes of Israel. He showeth his word, the Bible, unto Jacob, his statutes and judgments unto Israel. Go, read on.
He hath not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them.
Stop. The Bible is saying the Most High, the one that the world calls God, has not dealt with any other nation. Zip my head. He has not dealt so with any other nation. He have not shown this Bible to any other nation. He's not given it to any other nation. And as for his judgment, you can't judge Nicholas Carefoot if he wants to be a homosexual. Because the Bible's saying right now, they have not known them. So what is that telling you? Ivy Cruz ain't got no business with the Bible in her hand unless an Israelite is teaching her. Nicholas Carefoot don't have any business with the Bible in his hand unless he's being taught by an Israelite, because they have not known the judgments of the Most High. It's saying right here that the word was never given to the nations. It was only given to a particular people. It's specified. He have not dealt so with any nation. That means any nation beside the nation of Israel. This is not taught in church. This is not taught in Roman Catholicism. They call it hate. Well, you're going to have to call the Most High a hater, because it's written right here. Read on.
Come. Praise ye the Supreme Elohim, Yahweh.
Mm-hmm. So I got a question, Kahan Benaiah, Priest Benaiah. When was the commandments given to Israel? Maybe the general could help you out. When was the commandments given to Israel? Shabbat shalom, huh?
Shabbat shalom. When Moses came down with the tablets the first time.
Are you gonna agree with that, Kahan Nefertali? When was the commandments given to Israel? Benaiah says when the when was it again, Benaiah?
He said when Moshe came down with the tablets written by the finger of Yahuwah.
Is he making that up, Nefertali? Can he give us a verse? That's pretty vague. Nefertali, you still there? What about it, Fernanda? Someone give me the book of Devorian, the 27th chapter, and when you get there, read verse 1. Devorian 27, verse 1. Let's find out when the commandments was actually given to Israel.
Book of Devarim, Deuteronomy, chapter 27, verse 1. And Moses with the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day.
Read on.
And it shall be on the day when ye shall pass over Jordan
you
unto
skipped
the
something.
land.
No, never mind. I don't need that. Jump down to verse 9. Let's get exactly when it was. Jump down to verse 9.
Deuteronomy
Devorian 27 and 9.
Verse 9. And Moses and the priests, the Levites, spake unto all Israel, saying, take heed and hearken, O Israel, this day. Thou art become the people of Yahuwah thy Allah.
That's when they became the chosen people of the Most High.
Cool.
That's when they became the chosen people. It's right there. They didn't mention anything about no Nicholas Carefoot. Didn't mention anything about JD. That's when they became the chosen people. From there, let's go to Devorian 4, verse 1. Because a lot of these Gentiles would say, well, didn't the Apostle Paul, because they love Paul, didn't the Apostle Paul say, doesn't matter whether you're Greek, a Jew, as long as I call on him, I could be saved. So me being a Gentile, I could be saved also. Well, there's some things that has to occur for you to get salvation. And one of them is chains. As thou hast done, so shall it be done unto you. You can't escape the wrath of the Most High. People don't like this teaching, man, but it's true. Devorian, chapter 4, and read verse 1. Now, Fatali, you there? We can't hear you. Go ahead,
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 1. Now therefore hearken, O Yahshua Allah.
Oh, who? Israel. Go ahead.
Now therefore hearken, O Yahshua Allah, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you, for to do them, that ye may live, and go and possess the land which Yahuwah, the supreme Adonai of your fathers, giveth you.
Jump to verse 5. Go down to verse 5.
Verse 5, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the supreme Adonai Yahuwah commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it.
Read on.
Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
So we was given the commandments so the other nations, Nicholas Careful, said, wow, man, Fernando sure is wise. So the nations would say, wow, these are very wise people. But you got to know them. The commandments was made to make you look wise in the sight of all the other nations. They look at you and be astonished and want to be like you. Next thing you know, Eminem is rapping. Eminem's rapping. Oh, trying to pick up that spirit of Jake. Then you got Chinese and Japanese rapping now, man. They crunking. Oh, they dancing, hip hop dancing. Because of this wise people that's before them. They pretend they hate us, but everyone wants to be like us. They're women lovers. Everyone likes to be like us. They want to jump like us, run like us. When we go into something, we dominate it. They had golf. Said it was best. There was the best golf players. Then we took the tiger out of the woods and put him in golf. And he dominated it. Took the Williams sisters, put them on the tennis court, dominated it. Huh? When you look on a basketball court, the only thing you see is chocolate chip cookies. Sometimes you see some Oreos. But primarily, who you see out there dominated it. They didn't want Jake to be quarterbacks. Now you go to be a quarterback. They're the best quarterbacks. Dominated it. Because the quarterback is the head. It's the coach. I mean, it's the captain, should I say. Everything we seem to touch, we take control of it. We rule it. Because we're the chosen people of the Heavenly Father, Yahuwah. You may not like it, but it's written right here. So the nation said, wow, look at this great and magnificent people. Oh, wow. Look at Michael Jordan. How he glides through the air. Oh, he's magnificent. He's magnificent. Look at LeBron James, the King James. Astonishing. Look at the way that Jimi Hendrix played that guitar.
Cool.
No one's ever played like him. They say, oh, wow, he's brilliant. Then you see Nicholas Carefoot getting him a guitar. And he in there for hours. Ding, ding, ding. And they studying. He's studying Jimi Hendrix. And they study him and study him and study him. And they don't come out. And finally, he got it. He got it. He's able to emulate him. Almost. Like Eminem studied the hip-hop game. He hung around us to pick up our skills. And then they say, well, he's the greatest rapper of all time. But they only say that because he's a snow bunny. They're mesmerized by the nations, and the nations are supposed to be mesmerized by you. Read on, verse 7. Devorviim 4 verse 7.
For what nation is there so great?
Now, what nation is this so great? The Japanese say, oh, wait. The Japanese are distinctive people. That's the Japanese who was the first martial artist. See, I'm a historian and I know. That's the Japanese about Budokan. You see? When you go into ancient Japan, they say you couldn't be a true swordsman unless you had some black blood in you. They want to make you believe that they started martial arts. Nah, it's not true. We're the first people here. We just thought we didn't know how to fight. We was warriors. We were the first martial artists, and they're not giving any credit to Jack. They make you think it started in China and Japan and all of that. Well, the first Chinese was, yeah, you guessed it. You guessed it. Chocolate. Read on.
Who hath Yahuwah so nigh unto them?
Mm-hmm.
As the supreme Adonai, our supreme Adonai Yahuwah, is in all things that we call upon him for.
Verse 8. Read on.
And what nation is there so great that hath statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law?
So what is the Bible telling us for now? No other nations have been given this. Preachers are not reading this, man. It said no other nation. What other nation has these statues? No one. That you busy trying to be a damn Egyptian, an Egyptologist. David, he's into witchcraft now. He was already ugly. He makes up lies. Because when you living in sin, you don't like to be around people that's living right. So you lie. So you can stay away. Now he's drunk and ugly. Probably desecrating the Most High Sabbath tonight. Verse 9. Read on.
Verse 9. Only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and lest thou depart from thy heart all the days of thy life, but teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons.
How are you going to teach your sons if you don't know? Our people don't know this. Look at that woman. Our women are out of order. They don't respect men at all. That woman, look at that woman, Helen, man. Call herself Moshe. She want to have a name like Moses, man. Moses going to curse her ass, man. Look at that, man. Our women are out of order. And you go around, you whore hop from male platform to male platform. These women are out of order. They don't respect men. That's not of the Most High. That's of the devil, man. From the beginning, Eve went off, man. I don't trust no woman. She has to prove herself to me. Why am I like that? Am I wrong? No, that's what the Bible tells me to do. Keep a sure watch on a shameless daughter. Give not thy strength to women. From there, let's go to Elohim. Psalm 78, verse 1. Most High say he has a specific people. So y'all don't like Tazadaka?
Book of Elohim. Psalms chapter 78, verse 1. Give ear, O my people, to my law. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings of old, which we have heard and known, and our fathers have told us.
Read on.
We will not hide them from their children, showing the generations or the generation to come the praises of Yahuwah and his strength and his wonderful work that he hath done. For he established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers that they should make them known to their children.
Come. From there, let's go to Baruch in the Apocrypha. Let's go to Baruch 4, verse 1. Baruch.
Come on.
Are you guys teaching this to your children? Eve, man. Eve, man. Eve, man, you can hardly meet a woman that has her mind in the right place.
That's a fact.
She really does think she's equal to most of these Eves. I couldn't deal with her. These Eves are different, man. Different. And they're so forth. They're under Satan's authority. They come in, they try to act. It's all an act, man. I'm going to tell you guys, man, pray for the good brother Matt Too Saucy, man, because he went back again.
Oh, man.
I had a conversation with, to each man his own. I try and talk to him. I just told him yesterday, I don't think that's a good move, but, to each man his own. But, Matt Too Saucy's a good dude. I was trying to tell him he deserved better, man. But that's what happened, man, when you get in your emotions. A real man has to think logically, man. And that's not thinking with logic, man. I told the brother, I said, listen, she said some things that you can't come back from. Because those things that she said deprives you of your manhood. And, you don't really want to be with a woman that's, she doesn't respect you as a leader, as a head. Because that's the order that the Most High set up. And any woman that goes against it is of the damn devil, man. I don't care what this world say. I'm going to teach what the Bible says, man. Baruch 4, verse 1.
God. Book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of Yahweh, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die.
Now, let me ask you guys this. Is the average woman keeping a law? Let's see. Someone get better shit. Genesis 3 and 16. Let's see if the average woman is keeping a law. Well, watch this. Let's see if the average woman's doing this. Genesis 3 and 16. Someone get Ephesians 5 and 22. The average woman, according to the scriptures, the average woman's going to be put to death. Most Eves are not going to make it. Because how many women you know that obey their husband and respect? The Most High set up a hierarchy, man. And man is the hierarchy of this world. There's no equality there. I'm not going to preach what Eve wants me to say. I'm going to preach the truth, man. And the hierarchy is man over woman, not equal. To hell with what this world is saying, man. This world is going to hell in a handbasket. This world is messed up. They killing you in food. They got nano chips. They're breaking you down on all levels, and then they're using that damn women to destroy you. And you damn simpleton, you fall in love. Look you right in your eyes and lie to you.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So a game, they can't even be honest anymore. Almost everything that comes out of their mouth is a lie. They can't be honest.
Yeah, I can't trust them up.
Yep, I've noticed that too.
This is horrible, man. You're hard pressed, man. You better try that spirit. I don't care how she act initially. You better try that damn spirit. She's hiding something. Her motive is to get something from you.
I was just thinking about that. I was thinking that lying is a feminist trait, just because so much women do it.
Well, Jake, he's effeminate today also.
Con. Yep. Con. Because if you lie, you you can't face the truth to get what you want. So you gotta lie to get what you want.
Read verse 2.
We got the Book of Genesis.
Oh yeah, someone get that first. Genesis 3:16.
I got it. Book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
Now, how many women you know that's obeying that, man? Get Ephesians 5:22. That's why the Most High said most of them gonna be put to death. But such as leave it shall die. That's a law right there given. That's a commandment given to her right there. But such that leave it shall die. I mean, you know what's crazy? Who is Eve praying to? Eve will still get on her knees, pray, listen to biblical things, and ignore all of this.
Every day. Book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto Yahuwah.
As unto Adonai. You see that? So your husband is like the Lord unto you, according to the Bible. That's how she's supposed. Just about every woman is done right there.
God.
Just about every single one of them is done. She's selfish as hell. She destroyed children's lives. She snatched them away from their fathers because it's about her. It's not about what's best for the children. The typical woman knows that those children's best interest is to go with their father. As thus saith Adonai. But she's of the world. The world is of the devil, man. The world is of Satan. And so Eve is of the devil. She was with him from the beginning. You got to be crazy to trust her, man. Any woman in this world, in this setup right here, she needs to earn your trust. If you trust her from the inception, you a damn fool. You're a damn fool. She's trying to equivalate herself to you, That's not how the Most High made it. You men better stand up and be men again, man. And stop catering to these women. Some of you get weak. You get damn nervous because she might look all right. Or she's attractive. And if she's attractive, man, her head is bigger than a 10-block city zone.
Cool.
And then here come another Jake blowing it up. Even more. He dropped the sandbags, man, so the helium balloon takes off. Read verse 2. Baruch 4:2.
Come. Book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 2. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated.
What's the light thereof? What is that talking about? What is the light thereof?
The law.
Let's see. Someone give me the book of Yachanah 8:12. The light is Hamashiach. The light is Hamashiach. Yahusha. The one that the world calls Christ. That's the light. He said, I'm the light of the world. Eve don't want to hear this, man. You don't want to hear this. Eve, get out. Get off of here. You're going to hell anyways. Your ass is condemned. Unless you repent and come back. I don't give a damn who don't like it. Your ass is condemned. The average woman is off as hell, You're out of order, Eve. and you have a covenant with Satan. You went against the Most High in the beginning. That's why a man got to watch you closely, man. Your spirit's not right. You went against the Most High from the beginning, man. Then you got your weak husband to go against him.
The book of Yachanan, John chapter 8, verse 12. Then spake Yahusha again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness.
So who's the light, Fernando? Yahusha. I am the light of the world. John 8 and 12. I am the light of the world. Let's go back to Baruch. Now read verse 3, Fernando.
Come. Book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 3. Give not thine honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation.
Mm-hmm. Read on.
O Israel, happy are we, for things that are pleasing to Yahweh are made known unto us.
So that means that other nations has to learn through us. The things that are known, pleasing to the Most High is made known through the nation of Israel. That's what that's saying. Read on.
Be of good cheer, my people.
Look what he's using. My people. My people. Read on.
The memorial of Israel.
Read on.
Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved to Yahuwah to wrath. Ye were delivered unto the enemies.
That's why we're in this condition, man. Not because they're better. Read on.
For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils. And that
Come on.
And that not to Yahuwah. Ye have forgotten the everlasting Yahuwah, Supreme Elohim, that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem, that nursed you. For when she saw the wrath of Yahuwah coming upon you, she said, Hearken, O ye that dwell about Sion, Yahuwah hath brought upon me great mourning. For I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them. With
You
joy.
stop right there. So we could see again and again and again. Most High is talking about Israel. Boom, 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 boom. Israel. Israel. Give me Psalm 78, verse 6. Israel.
Look at Psalms chapter 78, verse 6. That the generation to come might know them, even the children which should be born, who should arise and declare them to their children.
Come about these commandments, man. Read verse 7.
Psalm 78, verse 7. That they might set their hope in Yahuwah and not forget the works of Yahuwah, but keep his commandments.
Now let's go back to John 3:16. Let's read that again. Read it again. Someone got a Zandervan Bible's dictionary with them?
Come on.
Let's read Psalms again. Salaki, John 3:16.
The book of John, Yachanan, chapter 3, verse 16. For Yahuwah so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life.
For Yahuwah so loved the world. What world? The Arab world? The world of Rome? The world of fish, fowl, and insects? What world did he so love? Let's go to John 17, verse 9.
Come on. Book of John, chapter 17, verse 9. I pray for them. I pray not for the world.
Okay, now we got a problem. Now we got a problem.
Come on.
It says, I pray for them. Who's the them? The Israelites. I pray not for the world. So apparently the world that he's talking about in John 3:16 is the world of Israel. That's the world that he's praying for. Read on.
Come. But for them which thou hast given me.
Who was given to Christ? The Israelites. The Israelites.
Come.
Read on.
For they are thine.
For they are mine. From there. Let's go to 1 Corinthians. We're going to read 14, verse 33. First, ain't nobody got nothing to say tonight. 1 Corinthians 14 and 33, man. Not a lot of people on here tonight, man. They don't like this topic. They want to hear about the Illuminati. They don't want to hear about that fake.
Come.
Go on, the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, verse 30.
33.
So, verse 33. For Yahuwah is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints.
So the Most High is not the author of confusion, as in all churches of the saints. Now let's see who the saints are, Fernando. Who are the saints? Let's go to Telahim, Psalms chapter 50, and when you get there, read verse 5. Psalms 50 and 5. Let's see who these saints are. Because you got Edomites calling themselves Saint Jerome, Saint Peter, Saint Mark. They got it on their Catholic churches, right? Let's see who's the only nation of people that could be saints according to the Bible. Watch this.
Come on, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 50, verse 5. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see who these saints are. Who are these saints? Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. Let's go to the Zendervan's Bible Dictionary. Let's look at the word saint. Let's see what that means. Saint. While he's getting that, someone get Psalms 148 and 14. Saints. Even all of his saints. Who is the saints? Who could be a saint? A Saint Lutheran Church. Edomite come out there that's been touching little boys.
Come on, a saint. 1, a member of Yahuwah's covenant people.
A member of the Most High's covenant people. Who did he make a covenant with? Israel.
Come on.
So only the Israelites could be saints. Go ahead.
A member of Yahuwah's covenant people of Israel, whether a pious layman, 1 Chronicles 6:41, Psalms 16 and 3, or someone like a priest who is consecrated to Yahuwah, Psalms 106:16, 1 Peter 2 and 5.
Yeah, so only an Israelite could be a saint, according to that, man. Only the Israelite. Get Billy Graham out of that. Someone give me Psalms 105, 9 and 10. Psalms 105, 9 and 10. Get Billy Graham out of that.
You still want that Psalms 148?
Yeah. Give me someone give me 105 first. Psalms 105. Just talk about the covenant, because Benaiah mentioned the word covenant. We'll still get the 148. But let's see what this covenant. Let's see who this covenant was made. Psalms 105, 9 and 10.
Cool. Psalms chapter 105, verse 9. which covenant he made with Abraham in his oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel for an everlasting covenant.
So the covenant was made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob forever. Forever. And it says in Zandervan's Bible Dictionary that the saints are the people that the Most High made the covenant with. That's crystal clear. Bring out the Psalms 148.
Book of Psalms, Talaham, chapter 148, verse 14. He also exalteth the horn of his people.
His people.
The praise of all his saints.
All his saints.
Even.
Bring it out.
Even or only of the children of Israel.
Only the children of Israel.
A
It
people
doesn't matter
near
if
unto.
JD puts on a yarmulke. It doesn't matter. He can't be a saint.
Mm-hmm.
That's the doctrine of man. Those are damnable heresies. He still can't be a saint. Not according to what we're reading here. Can't be a saint, man. There's more than one world. Someone read John 3:16 again. John 3:16. Read it again. Look up the word world in the Zandervan Bible's dictionary, Bernard. We're going to get to the bottom of this. Which world did he so love, Nefertali?
Got the book of John, chapter 3, verse 16.
Kwam Yasharala.
For Yahuwah so loveth the world, that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life.
So he reads that and say, well, it says right here I could be saved. And for so as long as I believe in him, I can live forever. It's not saying that. It's not saying that. Now, there's more than one world. Let's go to Hebrews 11, verse 3. But now you got that definition in the Zandervans? Hebrews 11, verse 3.
It says world, 1, universe.
Mm-hmm.
John 1, chapter 1, verse 10. 2, human race.
Mm-hmm.
Psalms 9 and 8, 96, 13, Acts 17.
Watch this. Okay.
3, unregenerate humanity.
Mm-hmm.
John 15, 18.
It's a world like the Roman world, though. Okay.
And the fourth one, it says Roman Empire.
See that? That was a world. So we see Nefertali, the word world can mean various different things. So it's the context that is used in. So it's more than one world.
Come on.
Book of Hebrews 11 and 3. Watch this.
Come on.
It's more than one world.
Book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 3. Through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed.
That the what?
The worlds were framed.
So that's plural right there. You see that, Bernard?
Come
on.
The worlds, read on.
Were framed by the word of Yahuwah, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear.
So the Most High literally makes a distinction between the earth and the world in Psalms 90, verse 2. Let's go to Psalms 90, verse 2. Real priests got the Bible now. They don't know what to say. They never come out to me, Nefertali. They already know what it is. This word is backed by the Ruach HaKadosh, man. They don't say nothing. They'll say something dumb on a comment, like some guy left a comment about the book of Enoch. I saw it today. I didn't even respond, man. I just blocked the dude. Because I mean, that was already answered in the video, so I know he didn't watch it. They want to
Yeah.
sound wise, man.
Yeah, I posted a comment on something that somebody else, you know, when people talk about the Book of Enoch, and man, I still get comments on that post to this day. Crazy. I
Yeah,
got
go
the
and post Tazadoc's video there, man.
uh,
Let's shut him down. Go and post Tazadoc's video. Psalms 90, verse 2.
and I got that Book of Psalms, chapter 90, verse 2. Before the mountains were brought forth, or ever thou hadst formed the earth and the world.
Okay,
E-
stop. You see the distinction the Most High just made between the earth and the world?
Come.
The Most High just made a distinction. You caught that, right, Nefertali?
Con,
It says, or ever thou hast formed the earth and the world,
Mm-hmm.
even
con.
from everlasting to everlasting. Thou art Yahuwah.
Let's go to Yeshaya,
Mm.
Isaiah 45 and 17. Isaiah 45 and 17. Which world did the Most High so love that he gave a Mashiach for? Is that Eric? That's Eric White over there? Is that blasphemer? In the background, huh? You give him his bike yet? Yeah, who should be?
Oh yeah, yeah. That last time I said it, you know, it wasn't picking up for me. He came by and swooped it up.
Yeah, I would have dropped it on his front lawn. Get your bike before someone else does. This is the consequences of a liar.
Look at Yeshaya chapter 45, verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the supreme Adonai with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end.
But Israel shall be saved with an everlasting salvation, meaning forever. You shall not be ashamed, world without end. Just like the Roman world, you have the world of Israel, and the Most High said that world's going to never end. That's the world that he so loved in John 3:16. That's the world that he's talking about. Read it again, John 3:16. World without end.
Come. Book of John, chapter 3, verse 16. For Yahuwah so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believe in him should not perish, but have everlasting life.
That should read that Yahuwah so loved the world of Israel that he gave his only begotten son, that whatever Israelite believe in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. And I'm gonna prove it. Book of Acts 5 and 29. Acts 5 and 29. They love to use Paul. But Paul had the holy ruach on him, man. Paul didn't say anything different. Read Acts 5, 29 through 31.
Look at Acts chapter 5, verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey Yahuwah rather than men.
Well, who you gonna listen to, Reverend Chicken Wing or the Bible? Who you gonna listen to, T.D. Jakes, P. Diddy, or the Bible? We ought to obey Yahuwah. Okay.
Verse 30. The supreme Adonai of our fathers raised up Yahusha, whom ye slew and hanged on a tree.
Who slew Christ and hung him on a tree? Who did that?
The Roman world. The Romans and his old people.
They're talking to, because it says, and the other apostle answered and said, so that means people went up to them asking questions. Because it's saying, verse 29, then Peter and the other apostle answered and said,
the apostles are responding to, because if you read up, they're responding to some chief priests, I believe.
oh,
So, like when you go to verse, like read verse from 24 on to 29.
oh yeah, I see it. 24. And the high priest and the captain of the temple heard these things. They doubted of them.
Verse 27, they brought them to sit them before the council.
Yep, and the high priest asked them.
So they're talking to these same priests that basically gave up Yahusha to the Romans.
Yep.
Verse 31. Him that Yahuwah exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior, for to give repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins.
Come. From there. Now, when in John 3:16, read it again, Fernando. John 3:16. Read it again.
Book of John, chapter 3, verse 16. For Yahuwah so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever...
Okay, stop. Now, who is this whosoever talking about? Does that mean anyone? Or is it just talking about the Israelites? That whosoever, because they take that and say, as long as I believe him, I can be saved. Is that really what that's saying? Let's go to Joel 32. Joel 32. Let's see who's this whosoever talking to. Because remember, Hamashiach Christ only talked to the Israelites. He wasn't talking to the entire world. He's only talking to the Israelites. He only preached to the Israelites.
Joel chapter 3, verse 2.
Joel 2 and 32.
2 and 32. Come on.
I got it. Book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 32. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the supreme Elohim
Adonai. That word right there is Adonai. That word is not his name. The word there is Lord, meaning Adonai. Go ahead.
The supreme Adonai shall be delivered, for in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance.
So it's telling you who the whosoever is. Mount Zion and Jerusalem shall be deliverance. As the Adonai have said, and the remnant whom Adonai shall call. It's right there. It's right there. It's right there. Read it again.
Oh, a lot of scriptures, man.
Come on. It says, "For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance."
Read it. No,
As
read the
is,
whole thing again. Read Joel 2:32 again. The whole thing.
Book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 32. "And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the supreme
Nah,
Adonai
that word is not supreme Elohim. That word is Adonai.
of
That
the
word there is Lord,
okay,
my master. You could say
what
Lord or my master. Same thing.
it's Adonai, right?
Yes.
Whoever shall call on the name of Adonai shall be delivered.
Where?
For,
Where? Read.
for in Mount Zion
Where?
and in Jerusalem,
No. In Europe. Read it again. For where?
for in Mount Zion,
No, in Africa.
for in Mount Zion
Go ahead, read on.
and in Jerusalem shall be
Oh,
deliverance.
that thing's beautiful, right? It's right there. It's right there. Now get Joe Biden out of that. He's about to check out. Now get him out of that. Get Joe Biden out of that.
Sleepy Joe. It says, as the Adonai hath said, and in the remnant whom the Adonai shall call.
So they read this and say, "Oh man, this guy he teaching hate." You know why? Because the precepts are being brought out clear. They can't deny it. So I don't like how he talk. He sound too hard. Yeah, because you don't like a man. You want some wimpy. Yeah, and it says, and I deny. Oh, Tito, give me my tissue. That's how they want you up. But that's never gonna be me, man. You see? From there, let's go to Acts 2:21. Watch this. Acts 2:21.
Come. Book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 21. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Adonai shall be saved.
Read on. We can't stop right there because it's going to tell you who it's talking to. It's going to tell you who whosoever is again. Got
Verse 22. Ye men of Israel.
Who is he talking to, Benaiah? Ye men of Israel. Which one of you men of Israel that call on the name shall be saved? Not the whole world. See that? Precept upon precept, line upon line. It's right there. Because there's oh, well, there's the old church. No, we got it right here in the new. It's right here in the Basura.
Yep. I could even see it. People will stop at 21 and don't read 22.
Yeah, that's what they do, huh? That's what they do. They tried it to me when I was out there teaching on the streets. From there, go to John 4:22. See, that's why you got to read this Bible, man. You got to read this word.
Book of Yachanan, chapter 4, verse 22. Ye worship, ye know not what we know.
They don't know what they're worshiping. Oh. They're worshiping Jesus. They're worshiping Nimrod. They're worshiping Isis, Osiris. They're worshiping Shiva and all this. They don't know what they're worshiping. Oh. We don't.
Ye worship, ye know not. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
Now, when it says Jews, it's talking about Yahudah, because Yahudah was a chief tribe. It was a head tribe of the nation of Israel. So when it's saying Jews here, it's talking about the entire 12 tribes. Understand that. Understand that. From there, go to 2nd Esdras 7:57 through 59. Yahuda.
Come, the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 7, verse 57. Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight, that if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. Verse 59. For this is the life whereof Moses spake unto the people while he lived, saying, choose thee life, that thou mayest live.
Okay, so let's see what Moses was talking about here. Go to Devarim 30 and 19. Devarim 30 and 19 through 20.
Deuteronomy chapter 20, Salaki chapter 30, verse 19. I cause heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and curse. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. Verse 20. That thou mayest love the Adonai Yahuwah, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him, for he is thy life, and the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which the supreme Adonai sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them.
It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful.
Okay.
Ephesians. Okay. Ephesians 5 and 26.
Okay. Book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 26. That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the world, that he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot.
We just want that washing of the water by the word.
Okay.
So the physical baptism is not going to get you in. The real baptism is just word. This is how you're born again. Now, what is the spirit? What is the spirit? Go to John 6 and 63. Nicodemus didn't understand these things, man. Matter of fact, let's put this in concept. Go to John 3, verse 1. Read John 3, verse 1 first. Watch this. John 3, verse 1.
Book of John, Yachanan, chapter 3, verse 1. There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews.
So he's a ruler of the Jews. Read on.
The same came to Yahusha by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher come from Allah. For no man can do these miracles that thou doest except Allah be with him. And Yahusha answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of the Supreme Allah.
Read on.
Nicodemus said unto him, how can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time into his mother's womb and be born? Yahusha answered, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born of water and the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of the Supreme.
Okay, so let's see what that water and the Spirit is. Now, Fernando, go back and read that again. Ephesians 5 and 26. It'll make much more sense to you. Because Nicodemus didn't understand this, but he was supposed to be a master of Israel. And Hamashiach said to him, man, aren't you supposed to be a master of Israel? And you don't understand these things? A lot of them are not on this call. They don't understand it, man. Partying like rock stars. It's all good. 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, that's a big thing in Mexican culture is getting baptized and stuff like that. Everybody does it when they're young.
Ephesians 5:26. Let's see what this water is.
Come on. Book of
How
Ephesians.
much? So you have to be bound by the water and the spirit. Let's see what this says. Read.
Come on. Book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 26. That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word.
So the water that Hamashiach was talking about is not water baptism like the Mexicans like to do. It's the word of the Most High. That is the word that he's talking about. That is the water. It's this word. Now let's see what the spirit is. What is the spirit? John 6:63. John 6:63. Both the word, both the water and the word. Both the water and the spirit is this word of the Most High. Because that's how you get the rule on you, is by reading this word. So both the water and the spirit is this word of the Most High. John 6:63.
Khan, the book of John, Yachanan, chapter 6, verse 63. It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit.
Is what? The words that you speak is what?
They are spirit,
Mm-hmm.
and they are life.
You hear that, Fernando?
God.
So both the water and the spirit is this word. That's how you get the spirit on you. That's how you get the Holy Ruach on you. That's how you get the Ruach HaKadosh. Now, Hamashiach, see, yo, he said that Nicodemus, man, you a master of Israel and you don't know this stuff? Let's prove it. John 3:10. Watch this. What would you ask him? Say, yo, man, aren't you a master of Israel? Because remember, that's how he identified himself, man. One of the leaders of Israel. John 3:10.
Book of John, chapter 3, verse 10. Yahusha answered and said unto him, Art thou a master of Israel, and knowest not these things?
Yeah, he said, yo, man, aren't you a master of Israel and you don't know these things, Nicodemus? That's what he said right there, yo. That's what he said. He said, hold on, man, aren't you a master of Israel? You don't know this? How you going to teach the people then? And I mean, Paul, they love to attack Paul, right? So Paul was only talking to his brethren. There's a guy's named Richard Stewart. Brethren! The Apostle Paul was only talking to his brethren, meaning brothers. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 1, verse 10. Brethren. Richard Stewart.
Cool guy.
First Corinthians 1 and 10.
Come on, the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 1, verse 10. Now I beseech you, brethren,
meaning brothers, Richard Stewart, guy,
by the name of our Adonai, Hamashiach Yahusha, that ye all speak the same thing, and that there be no divisions among you.
So the Apostle Paul was only talking to his brothers, man. Guy, read on.
Come on. But that ye be perfectly joined together in the same mind and in the same judgment.
Now let's go to Romans 9 and 1. The Apostle Paul, we're going to read verse 1 through 5. The Apostle Paul was only talking to his brothers, man, who were Israelites. Tells it, we don't like you anymore, man. How come you can't talk that secure creditor stuff? I don't like when you read the Bible.
Huh.
You got the
Get the
folly.
I got the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 1.
Bring it out.
I say the truth is in Christ. I lie not, my
My
conscience,
conscience
my conscience also bearing me witness of the Holy Ghost.
and the Holy Spirit. They put that word ghost there. That word shouldn't be there. It should say ruach.
Come
The
on.
Ruach HaKadosh.
Ruach HaKodesh,
It
Holy
shouldn't say
Spirit.
no ghost. The interpreters put that there. There's no such thing as a Holy Ghost, man. It's a spirit, man. God.
That I have great heaviness and
Continual
continual
sorrow in the heart.
come on,
God, read
continual
on.
sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren,
Now let's see who his brothers were. God, read on.
my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites.
Who are what? Who was the
Who
Apostle Paul's brothers?
who are Israelites?
Yeah, the Apostle Paul was from the tribe of Benjamin, man. God.
To whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants
And the contract. God.
and the giving of the law
So all this stuff belongs to Israel, man. It's written right here. God.
and the service of Yahuwah
God.
and the promises.
God.
Whose are their fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Christ came, who is over all, Yahuwah blessed forever. Amen.
From there, go to Romans 11, verse 1. Romans 11, verse 1. Boy, this word be cutting hard, huh? Where's Kadar at, huh?
Oh, no.
Who's a good brother Kadar? Eric White, he never come on the court. He's sitting in the background. Right now, he's sitting at home in his corner, huh? I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Yeah.
I got the book of Romans,
So
chapter
he's gonna
11.
say when they be taking his car, huh? He's gonna run outside and say, I hear you, Taza. I hear you. I hear you. They're gonna be taking his car, huh? Why?
I got the
Be on the car with David drinking a bottle of wine, a cheap one, Wild Irish Rose,
Drinking that box wine.
and smoking a Newport.
got the book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 1.
Come.
I say then, hath Yahuwah cast away his people? Yahuwah forbid. For I also am an Israelite, of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
See that? The Apostle Paul was an Israelite. So that's who would his brothers be then? The Israelites. The Israelites. Let's go back to Baruch. Let's get Baruch 4, verse 4. 4, verse 4 through 5. I'm almost done, man. I know y'all don't want to hear anymore, man.
He said,
Swinging swords like Shinobi, man.
Baruch 4 what?
Baruch.
4 and 4. Baruch 4 and 4 through 5.
Look at Baruch, chapter 4, verse 4. O Israel, happy are we, for the things that are pleasing to Yahuwah are made known unto us.
Made known to the Israelites. God.
Be of good cheer, my people,
Mm-hmm.
the memorial of Israel.
Mm-hmm. Let's go to Baruch 2, verse 30. We're gonna read verse 30 through 35, then I'm done.
Come on. Book of Baruch, chapter 2, verse
Verse
30.
30.
For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people.
That's why Eve don't hear. That's why Eve don't want to listen to her man. She's stiff-necked. God. That's why the Most High put the curse on her hair.
Huh.
Her hair is that long. God.
But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves,
Yeah, now they remember. God.
and shall know that I am the Adonai, their supreme Elohim, Yehovah. For I will give them an heart and ears to hear,
Mm-hmm.
and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity,
Why they're picking us back up. This is why so many Israelites coming back into the truth now. Hallelujah. Yeah. God.
and think upon my name,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. God.
and return from their stiff neck,
Yeah, Eve's gonna return from a stiff neck, man. But most of them not gonna make it. God.
and from their wicked deeds.
Yeah, they wicked deeds. God.
For they shall remember the way of their fathers,
Mm-hmm.
which sinned before Adonai. And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath,
So this prophecy hasn't been fulfilled. God.
promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be Adonai of it, and
Mm-hmm.
I will
They're
increase
gonna be
them,
masters of it.
and they shall not be diminished,
God.
and I will make them an everlasting covenant with them, to be their supreme Elohim, Yahuwah, and they shall be my people, and I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them.
It's powerful right there, man. That's all I got, man. That's all I got, man. Come. Is there anyone else? We dropped the link in the room, man. That's just that's Nefertali. Nefertali, you got anything good, brother?
I just wanted to add, that was a very, very good segment there, brother. A lot of good information came up out of that, and I'm still really stuck on the last segment that you had, with the breakdown of Enoch, and I have to be reliving that once again. I've been listening to it since you last recorded it. I realized that you said something about the Talmud also wrote some books of Enoch, and I've known quite a bit about the Talmud fallacies out there and the type of lies that the Talmuds have actually put out there to try to keep us off the trail of who we are as Hebrew Israelites. Because I know one of the 3 Talmud fallacies that I was aware of after you mentioned it yesterday was that it was 3 that was cursed on Noah's Ark, and it was the dog to be tied to a pole forever, a bird to expectorate in another bird's mouth, and the so-called Negro was smitten in his skin. And I always wonder who wrote such fallacies, man. And true enough, it's the Talmud. The Talmud. So if the Talmud is writing anything, you know it's just got to be a bunch of malarkey at the end of the day. But nevertheless, all praises be to the Most High. King, keep up the good work, and thanks for inviting myself and the Akims to the panel.
That's crazy.
So more than likely, it wasn't the Talmud that I was relating to the book of Enoch. I was relating that to the book of
Jasper?
I don't think it was Yashur. What's the other one I was talking about? Jubilees.
Khan.
Yeah, Jubilees. Enoch was more than likely written by this sect of Judaism known as the Essenes. They call themselves Essenes. They was considered to be some sort of scarce sect. See what happens. These men known as the Essenes, they rejected the second temple that Yahusha worshiped in. They denied the Israelite calendar that Yahusha followed, and they
Con.
did not follow the law of Moshe. Now, in some ways, Hamashiach followed it when he walked the earth. Now, the Essenes, they also abstained from eating meat. They looked down on marriage. See, there's a lot of stuff people don't know about these Essenes, right? They look down on marriage, and they
Wow.
avoid mingling with the rest of society. Now, the reason that I said that they wrote it because the Essenes was deep into mysticism. Right?
Mr. Con.
They was deep into angel worship, and you see they started talking about the Nephilim. So they was deep in the angel worship and the healing stones. And this is where Eve get a lot of this nonsense from, the healing stones and all that. Oh, yeah, it's a stone that'll heal you. This comes from the Essenes, man. They made potions and, you know, elements. They was involved in elements of sun worship. They believed in divine sun rays. And they believed that they were prisoners in their own body. And so they looked down on the flesh, as many of these Gnostic groups do.
I think the Talmud was Babylonian, whereas the Essenes were maybe not the same.
We never said it was the same. I just corrected that. The Essenes are not the same people. The Essenes, I didn't say anything about them writing the Talmud.
I must have misheard.
Nefertali try to relate that to the book of Enoch. I'm talking about the book of Enoch and who wrote the book of Enoch. And I said it was the Essenes. They was into the mysticism. And the Hamashiach, he never showed any kind of support for the Essenes belief. Neither did the majority of the Israelites.
Forgive me.
You got to ask yourself, why would a believer in Hamashiach, Yahusha, follow the doctrine of the Essenes by reading their mythological book, like the book of Enoch? Because that's a book of mythology, man. Now, what is the book of Enoch? What is it? That's what you got to ask yourself, man. I touched on this thing last night, and a lot of these people, like I said, someone left a comment under the video I done last night. I didn't really go into a lot of detail in the book of Enoch. You know, I was just talking about it on the surface. But he said, well, it says that women had sex with. See, I can't talk this stupid. You understand what I'm saying? If you're so stupid, if I insult you and you don't even realize when I'm insulting you, I can't even talk to you.
Right.
And this was that kind of person, right? You know, well, he says they had sex with angels. So I didn't even go into it. I just blocked him because obviously he didn't watch the video. Now, there's a lot of people out there like that dude that think the book of Enoch is just one book, like I was saying last night. The book of Enoch is a collection of books, 6 books, and it was written by multiple authors. So that should throw you off right there. And this was during various different time periods. In those time periods, I reiterate, they range from 300 BC to 100 AD. And if you, any kind of biblical scholar knows that this time span was when the word was silent. See, there's no evidence to suggest that within these certain single books or these chapters that there's like significant gaps of time, right? So you got multiple contributors, you got multiple writers and editors in this so-called book of Enoch, and it's proven and very clear that the book of Enoch is not the work of the pre-flood Enoch. It is not. So people read about Enoch and they just want to relate him to that book. That book is not the work of the pre-flood Enoch that is mentioned in Genesis. But the book of Enoch tries to imply that. But they can't pull that with me. Whoever's interrupting me, man, can you stop, man, and let me talk? Therefore, the book of Enoch starts off lying to his readers. And people that's unlearned don't understand that. So again, the book of Enoch is a collection of books, and it's compiled of, as I stated last night, book 1 is known as Enoch 1. That's the first book. They call that the Watchers. And that goes from chapter 1 to 36. Then you have the second book. That's called the book of parables, right? Or AKA similitudes of Enoch. And that's known as Enoch chapters 37 to 71. Then you have book 3. That's the astronomical book, or the book of the luminaries. Right? That goes from 72 to 82. Then you have the fourth book, which is actually the book of dreams, or the book known as dreams. And that goes from chapter 83 to 90. Then you have the epistles of Enoch. That goes from 91 to 108. And so when a wise person will ask, what are the dates each book was written? And when you look at it, the book 1, the Watchers, when you research it, it was written from 300 to 150 BC. The book of parables was written from 100 BC to 100 AD. Now, the 3rd century AD, no copies has actually been found in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Book 3, the astronomical book, was written in 200 BC. The 4th book, the Book of Dreams, was written in 165 to 140 BC. And the 5th book, the Epistles of Enoch, was written in 200 BC to 100 AD. And so if you know anything about ancient history, that time span is the time of the Greeks and Romans' influence in what they now refer to as the Middle East. So it's sandwiched between the Maccabean revolt and the reign of the Hasmoneans dynasty in Israel. And if you know anything about that period, the period is when the mystical Jew sect of the Essenes flourished. The Essenes was flourishing then. And the Pharisee sect, they also gained a lot of prominence during that time because they brought in the reinterpretations of the scriptures and they added many religious rules. This is the stuff that JD follows. This is where the Talmud and all of this comes in. That's not the word of the Most High, man. They added that there. They brought that in there. That's not the words of the Most High. So the earliest version of the book of Enoch is only found in the 15th century. And guess where that came from? Ethiopian Ge'ez. It's an Ethiopian Ge'ez language text. And so when you trace that Ge'ez back, it's a Semitic language that is actually used in Ethiopia, in the Orthodox Church, the Ethiopian Catholic Church, and the Ethiopian Jewish congregation, because they do have a Jewish congregation also. Now, you'll find fragments of Aramaic, Greek, and Latin in the book of Enoch. Scholars believe that the book of Enoch might have originally been written in Aramaic or Greek, and then later translated into the Ethiopian Ge'ez language after the 3rd century. But the Aramaic portions of the book of Enoch are among the Dead Sea Scrolls. And the Dead Sea Scrolls versions differ from the portions of the Ethiopian book. That's a contradiction right there. As it states in the book of parables. The book of parables is completely missing from the Dead Sea Scrolls version, which is called the Son of Man or the Messiah text. Now, that should put the Ethiopian version into question. You understand? Since this text shows numerous errors. They got modifications, they got additions in there that was added into the book. So was the book of parables written by Jews, Gnostics, or the Ethiopian church years after Yahusha walked the earth is the question. It's possible, it is very unlikely. See, the fact that the Ethiopian church includes the book of Enoch in their Bible means very little, because the Ethiopian church has a total of 81 books in their biblical canon. To be precise, the Ethiopian church literally also includes a book titled the Book of Josephus, which is a 10th century work believed to be based on the writing of the Jewish historian Flavio Josephus. And so that just shows how the Ethiopian church showed titles, they showed a little scrutiny when adding books to their biblical canon. So I don't know where people want to follow it. They can't even follow the word of the Most High, but they want to add it in. They want to talk about the angels in these. To me, it's a comic book, and it was not inspired by scriptures.
Who was the author of the studio epigraph known as the Book of Enoch?
I just said they got various different authors. They
Right.
weren't all written. It's 5 different books, all written at different times, all written by someone else, written by different authors. And so, based on what's in there, again, I contend, like many scholars, that the Essenes wrote it because there's so much mysticism in there. And that Hamashiach was against them, and they was against him. They was against worshiping in the second temple. Really, they was pretty much magicians, man. Now, does anyone have a book of Enoch? Because I got one. If someone has a book of Enoch, go to Enoch chapter 6, verse 4 through 6. Someone got a book of Enoch? Read Enoch 6, verse 4 through 6, where it says, "Let us swear an oath and all binds ourselves by the mutual imprecations not to abandon this plan, but to do this thing. Then swear they all together and bound themselves by mutual implications upon it. And they were in 200s who descended in the days of Jarad on the summit of Mount Hermon. And they called it Mount Hermon because they had sworn and bound themselves by mutual imprecation upon it." See, that's a lie right there. So the angels, what they're saying right there in the book of Enoch, that's a contradiction right there. So this is why people that don't really understand the scriptures, they could pull this garbage over. But if you understand the scriptures, they're saying that angels made a deal on Mount Hermon before the flood. Baal Hermon, meaning Mount Hermon, right? So, but what's the real truth? See, the book of Enoch claims that the fallen angels stood on the mountain before the flood occurred. Now, this is during the time of Jarad. When we read, someone get Genesis 5 and 18 through 20. See, the problem with this claim is that Mount Hermon did not get its name before the flood. So it would be impossible for a location to be named before the flood and then later identified with some name post-flood. So even if the book of Enoch came with a map and a GPS coordinates, right, the location of a pre-flood landmark will be impossible to find because of the devastation of the earth, Topa, during the flood. Plus, the Bible shows that Mount Hermon got its name, debunking this claim that Mount Hermon was named by the fallen angels pre-flood. That's a lie. See, the post-flood, the mountain was actually known as Siranon. And when we read someone get Deuteronomy, also get Deuteronomy 3:8-9. But the post-flood Baal worshippers also named the mountain after their god Baal Harmon. So this was actually in association with the worship on that mountain. And we could find that in the book of Judges 3:3. And we could find it again in First Chronicles 5:23. See, the Bible, this book heavily contradicts the Bible, man. So the same thing occurs with what Benai was reading about earlier, Mount Peor, which was actually associated with the Moabite god, Baal Peor, right?
Right.
Numbers 25 and 1-5.
Right.
So therefore, the book of Enoch lies about pre-flood fallen angels, naming Mount Hermon Baal Hermon. That's a lie. It was post-flood Baal worshippers that named Mount Hermon, not the fallen angels. It's in the Bible again and again. See, the book of Enoch also claims that pre-flood knowledge of Mount Sinai. And we could find that lie in Enoch 1-4. That's impossible also, because there's evidence that proves that the book of Enoch was not written by the real pre-flood Enoch of Genesis. And it's also unlikely that Mount Hermon and Mount Sinai existed before the flood, because the entire earth was transformed during the flood. How do we know that? Because it says it in Psalms 104:8-9. See, it's beautiful once you understand. And in the book of Genesis 6:13, it says it again. So the word, and also Genesis 6:13, where it says, where about a word, so like it, the world that then was being overflowed with water perish. I mean, it was destroyed. It was destroyed. So that means the mountains and everything would have been changed. So I put out a lot of scriptures right there, man. Genesis 5:18-20. Someone grab that real quick.
Con, I got it. Book of Genesis, chapter 5, verse 18. And Jared lived 162 years, and he begat Enoch. And Jared lived after he begat
Okay,
Enoch.
stop. Yeah, got it.
And Jared lived after he begat Enoch 800 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. And Enoch lived
Stop. So
60.
the problem, what is the point of this? Is that the book of Enoch claims that the fallen angels, they stood on a mountain before the flood occurred, right? This is what the book of Enoch says. Before the flood occurred, that's what I read in the book of Enoch 6, verse 4-6, right? So they say that these angels stood on a mountain before the flood occurred, when it contradicts Genesis 5:18-20. They claim that these angels named the mountains pre-flood. But we find out that it did not get its name until after the flood. See, that's the problem. Mount Hermon did not get its name before the flood. So it would be impossible for a location to be named before the flood. And then later, it's later identified with the same name. Nah, man. Go ahead, finish reading that, Fernanda.
Con, Genesis chapter 5, verse 21. And Enoch lived
No, I
six.
just need 18-20.
Con, I'm done.
Read it
Con,
again.
and Jared lived 162 years, and he begat Enoch.
Mm-hmm.
And Jared lived after he begat Enoch 800 years,
Mm-hmm.
and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died.
Read.
Verse 21. And Enoch lived 65 years, and begat Methuselah. And Enoch walked with Yahuwah After he begat Methuselah 300 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with Yahuwah, and he was not, for Yahuwah took him.
Okay. So now go to Deuteronomy. Someone read Deuteronomy 3, 8, and 9. You'll see how that mountain got its name. It was after the flood, not before the flood. Why? Because those people that worship Baal, they call that mountain Baal Hermon. Mount Hermon. That was after the flood, not before the flood.
Come.
Book of Deuteronomy, Deborim, chapter 3, verses 8 and 9. And we took at that time out of the hand of the two kings of the Amorites the land that was on this side Jordan, from the river of Arnon unto Mount Hermon. Verse 9, which Mount Hermon the Sidonians called Sirion,
Mm-hmm.
and the Amorites called it Shinar.
See that? So this mountain got its name after the flood. Baal Hermon, in association with the worship on the mountain. Go to Judges 3, verse 3. And someone get 1 Chronicles 5 and 23. That book contradicts the Bible so many times, man. But they're still trying to tap dance around it.
Book of Judges, chapter 3, verse 3. Namely, 5 lords of the Philistines, and all the Canaanites, and all the Sidonians, and the Hivites that dwelled in Mount Lebanon, from Mount Baal Hermon unto the entering of Hamath.
Yeah, they worshipped it. They worshiped their god, Baal Hermon. Yes. 1 Chronicles 5 and 23, somebody. And the same thing occurs with Mount Pierre. Same thing. That the Moabites used to worship.
Gone. I got the slugger.
Look at 1 Chronicles chapter 5, verse 23. And the children of the half tribe of Manasseh dwelt in the land. They increased from Bashan unto Baal Hermon.
See that? Mount Hermon. See that?
Come on.
The same thing occurs with Baal Pierre in Numbers 25, 1 through 5. So the book of Enoch lies about the pre-flood fallen angels naming Mount Hermon, Baal Hermon. It was post-flood Baal worshippers that named that mountain Mount Hermon, not the fallen angels. Got your ass.
Yeah, it's crazy that you do make a good point that when people bring up the book of Enoch, they definitely don't bring up anything else that's in the regular books of the Bible. Laws, statutes, commandments, the way you eat, the things to do. They really just want to go into all of the mysticism, the anything is possible, angels and giants and stuff like that.
Here's a problem with that, right? The Bible says that the entire earth was transformed during the flood. So if mountains was there, they wouldn't have been there anymore. That's a fact. So you got to know how to use this Bible against them. Someone gets Psalms 104, 8 and 9. So it's very unlikely that Mount Hermon and Mount Sinai literally existed before the flood, because they would have been washed away. The whole earth was transformed.
Book of Psalms, chapter 104, verse 8. They go up by the mountains, they go down by the valleys, unto the place which thou hast founded for them. Thou hast set a bound that they may not pass over, that they turn
The
not
bound that they
again.
may not pass over is talking about the waters. The bound they may not pass over is talking about the waters. God.
Come on. Thou hast set a bound that they may not pass over, that they turn not again to cover the earth.
See that? Go to Genesis 6 and 13. So the water covered the entire earth, man.
Book of Genesis, Bereshith, chapter 6, verse 13.
So the Most High destroyed the earth, man. The mountains and things was washed away. Because the Most High said he would destroy the animals and the earth. He didn't leave no mountains in place.
Come on. And Yahuwah said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth.
So the Most High destroyed the earth, man. So that mountain would have been gone. You understand that? It would have been gone. And the Apostle Paul makes that clear. 2 Peter 3 and 6. 2 Peter 3 and 6.
Gone. Book of 2 Peter's, chapter 3, verse 6. Whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished. But the heavens and the earth, which are now, by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men.
Is that not saying he's going to destroy the earth, man? Of course it is. Now, when you read Enoch chapter 7 and 2, it says, and they, meaning the women, became pregnant, and they bare great giants whose height was 3,000 ills. 3,000. I challenge you guys, go and look up how long an ill is. You go and look it up, Nicholas Carefoot.
Okay.
There was 3,000 L's, E-L-L-S. Now watch, an L was approximately 18 inches long. Or if you deal with the ancient royal Egyptians, it was a cubit, which was 20.6 inches. What is a unit called? An L.
It says it's an L from Proto-Germanic Alino cognate with Latin ulna, Northwestern European unit of measurement, originally understood as a cubit, the combined length of the forearm and the extended hand.
There you go. There you go. So that means it reaches from your elbow to your fingertips. So they also call it a cubit. So now the wise thing to do would be go, how long is a cubit? How many inches is a cubit? How many inches is a cubit?
Cubit, that's 4. My bad.
Should be about 20
44.
inches. 20.6, something like that.
It says it ranged from 44.4 to 52.92 centimeters, or it would be 1 foot 5 1/2 inches to 1 foot and 8/13 of a 16th inch. So with an ancient Roman cubit being as long as 120 centimeters or 3 feet 11 inches. There you go.
Well, no, and so yeah, that's about right. So they was basically dealing with the royal ancient Egyptian cubits, which was about 20.6 inches.
Right. That's what I see.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
about
says
20.6 inches. If you take it back, there's a chart right here. So you do length in inches equals length in cubits times 18. Yeah. So in today's time, an L is about 3.5 feet. So if we go off of the older, smaller measurement of 18 inches, we'll go off the older, smaller measurement, then 3,000 L's, like the book of Enoch is saying, is equal to 4,500 feet. So it's saying that these giants was 4,500 feet tall. If you use the Egyptian cubit, the giants would be much bigger if we use the Egyptian cubit. But we're just going off of the smaller cubit, and these giants was 4,500 feet tall. This is a lie, man. The tallest giant, like I said last night, in the Bible recorded was King Og. In the book of Deuteronomy 3:11, we could determine how tall he was by how long his bed was. We know he was shorter than his bed. King Og's bed, according to the scriptures in Deuteronomy 3:11, someone read that, is about 13.5 feet long. So they estimated him to be about between 9 and 11 feet tall. And he's the tallest giant in the Bible. The Bible specifically states that. So where are they getting these men that was 4,000 feet tall? It's a fiction. It's a comic book.
I was going to say Marvel superheroes.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 3, verse 11. For only Og, king of Bashan, remained of the remnant of the giants. Behold, his bedstead was a bedstead of iron. Is it not in Rabath of the children of Ammon? 9 cubits was the length thereof, and 4 cubits breadth of it, after the cubit of a man.
Mm-hmm. So 9 cubits. So we could figure out how tall he was from that. This man wasn't the giants that these people are talking about in the book of Enoch is taller than 3 Empire State Buildings. That's ridiculous, man. The Empire State Building is 1,554 feet tall. They're saying that these giants was 4,500 feet tall. Now, you explain to me how they had sex with a regular woman. You got to be crazy.
That's one of their
to believe
superpowers,
that, man.
man.
You got to be crazy to believe that.
But isn't that what Japanese sailors would look at? Was like little pictures of nymphs and stuff like this. It's like kind of like just some weird old school lore kind of thing. Like that's not the only instance of like giants sleeping with people. Like it's just sort of, it's fiction for sailors. I thought it was basically.
I mean, the book of Enoch even mentions women. They said that the women became mystical creatures called sirens.
There you go.
It literally
Mermaid.
says that, man. In Enoch 19:2, it literally says that the women became mystical creatures called sirens.
So these books were more like a less than just like Playboy for sailors back in the day, basically.
I don't
Is what
know.
it sounds like.
It states in the book of Enoch that the human women who married the fallen angels and they gave birth to these giants were transformed into sirens. If you know anything about a siren is a half bird and half human creature. You don't believe it? Look it up. It's a half bird, half human creature.
Yeah,
So
harpy.
this proved that the damn book of Enoch promotes a lot of pagan mythology. So it's trying to introduce this mythological madness to the Bible. In your Bible, you would never read about a human transformed into some kind of mystical creature. The sirens come. You know what you need to remember? That sirens come from Greek mythology. So it's very impossible for the book of Enoch to even have written before the Greek era. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because that comes from Greek mythology.
Right.
So that proves that the biblical Enoch couldn't have written this book, man.
Sounds like it was written by Vikings if they're using L's.
So the book of Enoch is obviously a post-Greek book.
Yeah. Sounds like Edomite lore because it's got harpies, you got giants, you got sirens.
Here, look at the Encyclopedia Britannica. Look at this. Look at the picture of a siren on this vase right here. Look at this. See that? See that? That's what they said the
Yeah.
women became after they had sex with the giants. The children became like that.
Wow.
Oh, you got jakes that believe this, huh?
Yeah, that reminds me just of like those movies that they bring out, the Lord of the Rings and stuff like that.
Yep.
The
Look, they
all
say,
that
oh, well, this guy, he could do anything. The book of Enoch even mentions mermaids, huh?
Yeah, I'm done.
that's that Greek mythology. That's that
See,
Zeus.
a siren, that proves that book couldn't have been written in biblical times, and it couldn't have been written by the biblical Enoch, because sirens didn't exist until Greek folklore. Look at that. Siren. What are sirens? Look at that. It's Greek.
Yeah, that's those bird females. Yeah.
They said that they were sing. Well, when the sailors would come by, see,
Right.
when a sailor hears the siren, singing, they was bewitched. And the sailors was actually jumping off the cliff or something, or would jump into the ocean and drown because they couldn't stand to hear the siren's voice.
That's in the damn they had us read that Homer's Iliad or whatever. The whole
Yeah,
story.
the Iliad and the Odyssey. Yeah.
The Odyssey, that's what it was. Come Odyssey.
Yeah.
Stuff is a joke, man.
But Jake believes it. Oh,
It's a joke.
Wow.
The other thing that the book of Enoch believes that all sin in the world comes from Azazel. That Adam and Eve never committed sin. So it goes directly against the Bible. And anyone that doubts that, you could go and read Enoch 10 and 8. It's right there. It contradicts the Bible, man.
Yeah, I see people that read the Book of Enoch definitely aren't, um, definitely don't understand any scripture from the Bible because of the fact that I think I think they're just people who are in religions who kind of believe in all of this mysticism stuff and just want to prove how how crazy the world was or like try to push their narrative with the Book of Enoch to make it even more unrealistic.
Listen, they're doing this to justify their magic and mysticism.
uh
See, remember the Book of Enoch believe in healing rocks and all that. Now you tell me Eve don't love that, Eve loves that,
uh,
She'll bring out a
Con.
damn rock. Oh, yeah, this heals you, and man, get the hell away from me with that, man.
yeah, they got a
I
lot of
seen the one. They had this one. It was called like the Bible of Stones or something like that, and it said like every type of rock, all what mystical property it had. And I was thinking to myself, like, it's kind of
Man, Eve is
weird.
wicked, I don't. When I'm thinking back, I don't know if I ever met an Eve that wasn't into that, man. And I had to tell her yo, get that damn thing away from me, man. Don't bring that in my house, man.
uh,
They make altars with the rocks too, right? They like these little crystal altars. All the hippies do that.
They believe you could be healed with it,
Yeah,
yeah, yep,
hippies believe in a lot of crazy stuff. In fact, one of them was like a demon, like a book that was like name of it was like someone saying it was a channeler, but the name of the channeler, I looked it up, it was like some type of demon. I'm thinking to myself, like, it's like right in their face too. It doesn't hide.
Yeah.
yep.
Right looking at them, and then you say like, hey, I looked up this channeling book you have on the wall here. It was like Thoth or something. I looked into it, and it's a demon. And so I'm like thinking to myself, like, these people, like, they're like, oh, listen, like, I don't know if I believe in the Bible. I have these books. I'm like, and you think that you're doing better? Like, I don't
Yep.
understand.
Yep. Yeah, they bring out the Book of Enoch just to like show um how unrealistic their world is and yeah, they just want to justify uh what they're doing and stuff like that.
Satan really has their soul, it's
Cool.
not acting. They really believe that stuff, and they will fight you, man. They will
Cool.
try and curse you and everything. You go against their doctrine.
Yep. That's a
I've
fact.
never met an Eve that's not, you know what I mean? Bring out some damn rock, a crystal or something, man. Get your wicked ass away from me, man. Eve is wicked, She made that covenant with Satan, man. Someone get Romans 5 and 12, Eve made that covenant with Satan, man. Telling you, man, don't trust Eve, man. You got to make Eve prove herself, especially in this day and age, man. Don't
Yeah,
trust
that
no Eve, man. You're weak and you're stupid. That's why if you don't hang around some strong men, man, you're gonna fall right back over there, man. And Eve gonna have your behind.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 5, verse 12. Wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world, and by death, and death by sin. And so death passed upon all men, for that all have sinned.
See that? The book of Enoch trying to say Azazel is responsible for all sin. See, Adam, he slipped up because the Most High has a patriarchy, man. And Adam was supposed to be in charge of everything in this world, man, in the absence of the Most High. He fell on that, man. He hearkened to the woman. And you can't say Adam wasn't there when she did that because he was right there with her, man. Because it says she offered it to her husband and he did eat. So that means he was sitting there like a weak ass simp, docile beta. You know what I mean? When she ate it, and she said, "Here, you take some," and he did it.
Well,
Because
that's
how come he didn't stop? See, what he was supposed to do, man, is take a damn sword and chop that damn snake's head off. But he didn't do it. He was docile, like a lot of you, like Eric White, sit in the corner, or whatever. Let the woman, you can't go no damn where, man. Because with your woman gonna get angry. You're not gonna have no peace. You're too concerned about what your woman say, man. A woman don't want to listen, man. Get another damn woman. That's the bottom line. There's no way you're happy with that kind of woman, anyways, man. Don't want you to do a damn thing. You can't be happy, huh? That's not gonna do nothing but turn your hair white.
It's funny too. I just had this conversation with someone. And it's talking about how like, it's when you're quarreling with like your brothers, that's when like there really be a monster in your midst. Like that'd be like I was just having this conversation with someone. It's like while you're fighting with, your brother over here over nothing. There's a pederast. He just went right past your neighborhood, and meanwhile you arguing over nonsense with Eve or your brother, and there'll be real demons right outside on your front lawn.
These damn liberals, man.
Well, single mothers, they elected Biden, so they like it. They want daddy government.
Single mother is becoming an oxymoron, huh? Because men are not gonna impregnate them anymore. There's a new thing taking place in the earth.
Khan, I got a question. It's actually about the other, what were they? 16 books on the Bible 1611 edition that it usually isn't on the King James version, the Apocrypha.
14.
14. Give me. When were when were those written? Because they got the Old Testament, of course, before Christ, and they got the New Testament, which was after. When were those written?
It was written before the New Testament. You should be able to tell by reading it when it was written, because the Israelites was Hellenized at the time, so it was during times of the Greco-Roman rule. You should be able to tell by that because the names are mentioned in Greek. Many of the names are in Greek. Shalom, Israel. Yeah.
And you say that was also the time of silence?
Not when the Apocrypha. I mean, not when the Apocrypha was written. When you look in the 1611, you see the Apocrypha is in there. Huh? I said when these other you're changing my words around. I said when this book of Enoch, Jubilees, and all these other books was mentioned. That was a period of silence.
Oh, okay. Got you.
I mean, it's in the 1611 for a reason. You don't see those books in there. The word Apocrypha itself means hidden books. I was kind of talking about this last night, man. Deuteronical and the Proronical books.
The book. I mean the video you did last night, right? Or the one about the Book of Enoch and stuff like that.
Yeah, the word Apocrypha means hidden, man. It's a Greek word, so that should tell you itself when it was written. So, it was basically written between time of the Greeks, like 200 BCE to 100 CE. So that means if you get a complete Bible, it's going to have the 80 books in it, not 66.
Yep.
It was the Roman canon that took them out.
The Roman canon. Yeah, because
Every all of these sects have their canon that decide what's going to go on and what's going to come out. I was speaking about earlier with the Ethiopians.
yeah, yep. Because a lot of people who talk about the Book of Enoch, they always talk about how, oh, it was taken out of the whatchamacallit, out of the Bible because blah blah blah. They're trying to hide the
It was never
truth.
in the Bible. The Book of
Uh,
Enoch was never in the Bible.
and then
Again, I think I've proven that Enoch. How could it be the Enoch of the Bible when they mention sirens? I mean, all people have to do is think a little bit. The sirens didn't come into existence until Greek mythology.
and they
They'll
also,
come up with some dumb reason, whatever, man. All I'm required to do is tell them the truth, man. Whether they listen to it, it's on them. They're in the valley of decision.
yep. Yeah, and then they also bring up the Ethiopian Bible. Everybody always says that the Ethiopian Bible is the most original version of the Bible, and that it's the oldest one and stuff like that. They always like to bring that up.
Does that make any sense to you?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't because of the fact that um the original Bible should have been written in what, Hebrew.
Right.
So how is it that it's the oldest book is in Ethiopia?
That the fact that it's in the oldest book or not is totally trivia, because it's the intention of the oral tradition that matters. So it's like, happens to come from a dictionary, happens to come from a library, excuse me, that had all these other books. And so, the presumption that it's all one book, that's like nonsense. And then one of the biggest arguments that these people who believe in the Book of Enoch have, their whole thing is that, well, why would they have the name of the character from the Bible as the name of the book? Like, that's literally their main argument, is that it's the same name.
Because
That's
it's
it.
pseudepigrapha. Learn that from Kahan.
Yeah. So the Ethiopian Bible, when they said it's the oldest Bible, here's the problem with that. Fernando, the Bible that they're making a comparison to is the King James. Remember, the King James is just a translation. That's not the real Bible. Huh?
Cool.
That's a translation of the Torah into English.
Got you.
So yeah, that probably came at least 800 years before King James had the Bible interpret. But remember that the Bible existed before it was interpreted.
It's heavy. It's facts though.
And the reason that argument, if you really know the scriptures, would be easy diffuse. The Ethiopian Bible is a Christian Bible. How could they be Christians prior to Christ? You see how that doesn't make sense?
Kahan. None.
You gotta drop that sound, that bomb soundboard.
Khan.
Drop that bomb.
Marco.
How could the followers come before the leader?
Yeah, so the Ethiopian Bible was literally a Christian book.
Right.
Yep. That makes sense.
There's nothing but Orthodox Christianity. So they put things out there where people won't think, oh man, and you're arguing a point that really has no relevance. Did it exist before the word of the Most High? No.
That's right.
Mm.
Remember, the King James is not the oldest translation. Huh? They had the Vulgate around 400 AD.
Oh, I didn't know about that one. I was going to say the Geneva, but that was like the 1500s. Was the Vulgate? Was it translated into Latin at that time, or?
Khan. That's the Vulgate Latin version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that Saint Jerome assembled it.
So what's the Septuagint? The Septuagint was.
That's Greek.
Mm.
It came much later. That's Greek.
Cool.
Huh.
People want to get out a whiteboard and just write down a whole bunch of dates and put them in order.
I done been over all this stuff before, man.
Mm.
It's in the videos.
Yeah, knowing, yeah, pretty much like the timeline and the Bible history, you could easily disprove Enoch, and yeah, that's something I learned from all these Bible studies is being an SPC and stuff like that is knowing who you are, uh, where the world is at now, and yeah, where all the pieces are, and the things that are going on. But yeah, it's definitely hard to like and, put all the pieces together and to make it um like be clear, like understandable and stuff like that. That's what a lot of people don't got a good understanding of it.
Well, there's going to be even less understanding if people be wasting their time on things like the Book of Enoch.
Yeah.
That's in the Ethiopian Bible. And so, like I was saying, that contradicts the other Book of Enoch.
Yeah, I got a lot of scriptures from this call.
Yeah. The book of that Ethiopian book, they also made up a book called the Book of Josephus that they put in the Bible. which was actually written about the historian Josephus.
Con, yep. Yeah, I remember you saying that. Yeah, that's something that I noticed with a lot of people that bring up the Book of Enoch is that they they don't even understand any of the like the Old Testament or the New Testament. That kind of reminds me of like how a lot of these Muslim people do it. They say I met some lady one time. She said, oh, this is my religion, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, so y'all follow the Bible? Y'all believe in the Bible? And she said, yeah, yeah. We believe in the Bible, but we also believe in the Quran. And then I was like, okay, yeah, yeah. I'm studying this, right? And then she says, well, yeah, you could start off with the Quran first. I was like, well, why don't you just read the Bible first, and then since everything starts from the Bible, she says, yeah, you can do that, but I think it's better if you just read the Quran. And I was like, I'm like, I don't know if that makes any sense. And they just kind of like, if you don't know the history, if you don't know like where everything starts and how everything, yeah, how everything starts and how everything turned out, from beginning to where it's at now, it's like, how are you gonna understand um, anything really? You gotta know like the inception. You gotta know where everything started from to understand what's going on. So yeah, that's what a lot of people that religion that says. They said they give out the Quran all the time and stuff like that. But they always say that they believe in the Bible as well. Um, but all they really read is the Quran.
Kahan got an old video of him at like it was an Israelite versus the Muslim dude. I forgot.
Oh yeah, I'm sure what channel that's on.
I think that's on it's either on Rumble or on here on this one, but
Actually, it's a dual stream on Rumble, so you can kind of go hard in the paint now, no? Or actually, I couldn't speak just a moment ago because there was terrestrial radio playing, and I know they might flag the video either way. 10 Ways to Sunday.
What is JB said? I know this guy that also knows about what you guys are talking about from Wisconsin. Should I ask him to join the call?
Come on.
No, we don't need him out. Don't get into that whole polemics thing, man. They could go
Send them
and
a link to the video, but don't need them on the call.
yeah, they could just go and check out what they heard here. I'm not into the whole going back and forth with a bunch of most of these people. They say that they know stuff when they get on here. You find out they don't. Because anyone, like that thing that they was trying to bring with Fernando, if anyone try to come at me with this garbage, okay, so who is he worshiping? Okay, so then they got that from somewhere, right? That book has no scrutiny in it. The fact that they have a book in it about Flavius Josephus, and Flavius Josephus, what, like 10th century or something like that? Come on, man.
That dates it right there. There's a pigeonhole in it right there.
See, most people, the problem with a lot of our people, they just read the Bible, but they don't have no timelines, so they don't know how to talk to these people. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
They don't know the timelines.
Yep. I mean, knowing the timeline, you could disprove that Book of Enoch, and then also the Quran as well.
Let's say
Yeah, man,
timeline,
the Quran, man. It's come on, man.
timelines and maps too. Maps help me out a lot understanding the scriptures, looking at where things are at.
Mm-hmm.
Because it put things into context for real.
Yep. Timeline, maps, bloodline as well. Um. Yep. Yeah, that's a good study you did as well. What was it? The 18 original nationalities. I think it was 18, and then how they all kind of like spread it across the world, and then yeah, if you understand the 18 nationalities, I mean, you could um pretty much understand like who are the characters and the groups in the Bible, and kind of like what they've done, and like what their impact was back in the days, back in the times.
The problem is that there's some other camps out here that they be teaching so off that like they're scaring people off the truth. Dog. It's really messed up. Like I don't know what the Kahan has ever heard of these guys. Have you ever heard of this camp called Sakari?
Yeah, I know. I know. Came
What do
out
you
of
think of
GMS.
them?
Came out of GMS, man.
Okay, because they taught this guy named like James Dyer, and then he came out of the conversation with the whole thing that it's like a cult. And he was like, "Oh yeah, well, they're it's basically a cult because however they were preaching, man. That guy went on this podcast that I know, and it was just like I don't know, man. I don't know. I've dealt with that camp before on Clubhouse, and like they just want to own white people. Like that's fine. Like own your brother, sure, go ahead. The problem is that you're gonna scare a lot of people from ever wanting to learn the truth of the Most High, man.
The leader, one of his parents is white. One of his parents are white.
There you go.
Gotta call himself the Gorilla Hebrew. Yeah, I don't, man. For one Passover, they was at a strip club, man. That kind of did it for me right there.
Thank you. The water. No, I needed to know that because there is these two Edomites that I follow, and like I want to bring them into this truth, right? So the problem is that when certain camps teach certain things, man, it like I get labeled as schizophrenic. But now I know that's pure comedy, man. And wow. Anyway,
Well,
I digress. But
these camps, man. Don't listen to them. So Josephus was about the first century, but the problem with that is that the book of Enoch is talking about Josephian that was 10th century, and they got that in the book of Enoch.
Yep.
It's all over the place.
Yeah, and I believe also that if someone even brings up the Book of Enoch, I don't even think that they read the Book of Enoch. I think that they just, I mean, hear what people say about it, and go off of that. Go off of the story of angels and giants, and this is happening and that's happened. That happened a long time ago. Like,
But here's the problem with him saying, right? So why would the Ethiopian Bible have something from the 10th century in it that was, said to actually have been written by Josephus from the 1st century. The more you dissect it, the less sense that it makes.
So he wrote something in the future.
Yeah, there's a book that they call the Son of Bagorian, the Book of Josephus, the Son of Bagorian. That's in that book of the Ethiopian Bible. Now, the scholars saying that book is based on what Flavius Josephus wrote in the 1st century. So you got something 10th century mixed in there.
Yeah.
So here it is, right? This is the text I'm talking about right here. This thing right here. A copy online. Studio. That means fake. You guys get that, right? Studio means fake. Studio Pickerford means fake.
Con. Studio Pickerford, man.
See? Joseph Ben-Gurion. This is in the Ethiopian Bible. Now, let's say that this work right here, which was actually written in the 10th century, is based on what Josephus wrote in the 1st century. So why in the heck would it be in the Ethiopian Bible? No scrutiny. So they put all kind of books in there. Now what? So what the Book of Enoch's in there? They put that book in there.
Cool.
They didn't scrutinize anything they put in there. They got 81 books in there. It's like that damn Suffer, man. You gotta be very careful reading that. People go and read the Suffer, man. Okay, all right.
They got a book in there called Bell the Dragon or something.
Mm-hmm. It's in the Apocrypha, but they got Jubilees and all that in there. People want to go in there and read that. Yeah, it's true, because you see it say right here. All right,
No.
Hey guys, I read it on the internet. It must be true. It was on Facebook. That's where Enoch reigns supreme. It's on Facebook.
I only know about 80 of them. I don't know about nothing else, man. The 66, and the new and the old, and the 14 out the Apocrypha. That's it. Anything else I can't tell y'all.
Yeah, I mean, when you start to read stuff and it contradicts the Bible, that should be your clue right there.
Come.
Put it down, man.
No, I seen Eve grip to it like, oh, he contradicts the Bible. Oh, it must be real. Contradicts the Bible. Anyway, for Eve to climb out the sewer and get some clout.
They love clout.
Because true, like my mom, we could get her on the call right now, and she would tell you how she used to teach Bible study, and she'd be proud about it. And then read her the scripture about how, Eve ain't supposed to be teaching in the church, and listen to her tone, and totally flip. So anyway, but. Oh, Enoch though. That's like let's say authorized representative for Kahan Tazadak writes a like a life story, like a memoir, and then someone does a comic book off the memoir, And then now they're trying to say, well, no, the comic book, that's the real thing. That's the real, you know. Anyway, I try to explain to people that Enoch is a comic book, and they're just livid, man. Especially, I remember I had this one long conversation with an old woman, old Edomite woman, late at night, and she's trying to tell me about Enoch, like it's the real thing. It's the secret sauce.
Yeah. I mean, when your mind gets to a point where you believe that a giant 3 times taller than the Empire State Building have sex with a regular sized woman, then you probably need to be admitted to some sort of psych ward because you're a hazard to yourself. Now, what size must their penis have been if they was that tall? Come on, man.
At least a cubit.
The size of a car.
How would they even? I mean, think about that, man. How would they even bend down and have sex with this woman? You're about as tall as 3 Empire State Buildings, damn near 4. The hell she, the hell she do? Jump down with a damn parachute and jump on his penis?
Oh man.
Think about that, huh? Empire State Building's tall, man. It's over 1,400 feet. But they said that these angels, these Nephilim, was 3,500 feet, huh?
Man, come on, man. What they
They
ate?
taller than the Sears Tower, all of that, man.
Yeah, man. What
Yeah,
they ate?
ate 20 buffaloes. It is pink
These women,
buffaloes.
these women have sex with these. How did the baby come out of her stomach? Come on, man. You know the baby's gonna resemble his father in height and all of that, man. Even if the baby came out 20 feet tall, that would be an extremely short baby for someone that's 4,000 and some feet tall. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, he can't even carry his baby. He squish him.
Womb ain't even long enough.
And then yeah, you think about it, like what would he eat? Like man, there's no such thing as an apple tree 1,000 feet tall, or an animal that big. Like I mean, what you gonna eat? Whales for the rest of your life?
The way that they justify, oh no, that's God. You know, God, he could do anything.
Yeah. But
Most High about decency and order, and that what you talking ain't in decency or order, man.
Not to mention that the Nephilim was bad, because they was fallen. They was demons, man. They was fallen. You understand that?
so it'd be bad baby giants then.
Remember
That
when
spirit is on most people, man.
Satan fell? It says, angels fell with him. Those was the Nephilim, huh?
Oh. Yeah, I mean the only thing I could think of is Jack and the Beanstalk. They believe something like that.
Old Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Still tumbled over the candlestick.
Someone get Revelations 12, man. Revelations 12, 7 through 12, when there was a war in heaven.
Come. Book of Revelations, chapter 7, verse 12. Saying, Amen. Blessing and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving and honor and power and might be unto our Supreme Elohim, Yahuwah,
It's not. It's not. What I asked for. Can you
Con.
get that precept up?
Say it again.
Verse 12.
But no,
Start at
can you get that
verse
precept,
7.
man? 12 and 7.
I got it out.
You didn't reverse it.
Revelations chapter 12, verse 7. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast into the earth, and his angels was cast out with him.
See, those was the Nephilim that fell with him. And these are the angels, because remember, they call them fallen angels, that they're saying that had sex with these women.
Come. Verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our supreme Elohim and the power of Hamashiach, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before Yahuwah day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the seal, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
So like I see you got them books. I can see you got them books in the new one. I seen that. I seen that you sent it. A Fallacious Life. Oh no, it's called. Oh no, never mind. It was for the seminar.
The Most High trimmed me up just recently, man. I couldn't eat for the last few days. Got a free fast and feel so good now.
I need a fast too.
Like I didn't intend to fast. It was just a fast I had to come on with prayer and just the kind of thing where it was like I couldn't even go outside. Just getting tired immediately. And then today, just gotta all of a sudden it was like, all right, get up. And then I got up and then I walked more than an hour and now I'm walking another hour and it feels good.
Okay.
I was going to tell you, that's how you fix that thyroid, is fasting.
Yeah. I can't abuse my body with junk food and like recreation anymore. It just not a fan of it anymore. I'm not a young teenager anymore. I need proper sleep, food. I can't smoke anymore. Can't drink. None of it. It's just too hard on me. But what I think got me sick was dairy.
Yeah, gotta do it.
Cool.
I had
Thyroid
some pie.
thyroid problems can make somebody fat. A lot.
Right, hyperthyroidism and hypothyroidism. But just
Yeah.
the symptoms I had were like when I searched all the symptoms, it was like thyroid related. Or I can't remember. It was all like very like it seemed very like kind of like whoa, you could be like da, da, da. And I was like, no, I think it's I think it is the thyroid because I think the cows now are under such
Hormones.
not very good anymore. Basically, milk is no good anymore. It's not good.
Yeah. So hyperthyroidism makes you fat, and the other one could make you skinny. Then, right? Is that correct?
Right. Well, I think I was hypo because I was pretty fat, but I've
Yeah.
lost like a lot of weight in the last 2 days. Probably water weight, but
Yeah, it may not be water weight, man. Your body stores fat, so it doesn't. You don't go into starvation. After about the first 72 hours, it starts rebuilding your muscle fiber, and it starts burning the excess fat that your body had in it.
Yep. They say fasting is good for muscle growth,
Hmm. It boosts your that what is that growth
growth
um
hormone.
yeah, that growth hormone. It boosts that. Fasting does that. And
Yep.
also after the pretty much the first 24 starts to improve your brain. You really hit it after the 48 hours, but after 3 days, that's when it really gets a lot of benefits there. But
After
I'm gonna fast. I do almost intermittent fasting almost daily, but I think I need to fast for like a 2 to 3 days.
mm,
Yeah, sugar out of my body, man.
uh, yeah, 3 day fast. So after 2 to 3 days is whenever you see a lot of growth hormone and then other things kicking in.
Yep.
Mm.
Hey, stomach and everything get flat out more. You see your abs develop more. Mm. But I'm about to shut this down, man.
Uh, Shabbat shalom. Ta'ala Akim.
Shabbat shalom, man. I'll see you guys in Montreal,
au
Vancouver.
revoir.
Shalom.
Shalom, Sabbath, shalom.
Shabbat shalom.